morning, chat. All right. What's up, chat? All right. Start the Discord call and then we'll get going here, chat. Good morning, good morning. What's up, L3 Entries with Jack? What's up, Fire, Sam King, MK? What's up, Van, Vans, B911? Yo, Vans, you're a story Vans, right? I think I remember. What's up, Darius? All right. I'm mudded here. I might be mudded. Oh yeah, and zoom, and should be good here. Yeah, big day today, okay? CPI day, big red folder. But yeah, big day today, chat. You got red folders. Why is it green overlaid? Let me open up trading view. What was I saying? Oh yeah, so chat, big like red folder day today. It's core CPI 830. So yeah, like 15 minutes until then. We'll see how it comes out, and then obviously like likely to take positions after, not before, if we were to get positions at all today. But it is a big a pretty major folder. I think it's like up there with like FOMC and NFP, to be honest. It's like A tier. And yeah, I think that comes out, may or not bring volume. I don't know. It looks like it hasn't been priced in though when I checked. Like there hasn't been much movement since yesterday, right? So yeah, could bring in some volume and could be quite a big push. And I think that's all you got for today. So yeah, we'll do our analysis and then see what trades we're looking for, because like news, you know, it is news, but how I trade news is just like I take the volume from it and I apply it to like my price action as I normally would. So it doesn't really change much for our ideas, right? But it's important that we got to mark up and, you know, figure out what we actually want to do today, and then news will just kind of help us get to those answers, right? But yeah, let's get started. So it looks like the daily yesterday closed like bearish here, right? Closed decently bearish below the ranges. I think he did get that push too, like after he kind of hopped off the session. But yeah, 9 a.m. came out yesterday, popped down, and I think ever since then, like you just kind of been ranging. You did get a pullback, which I think I did have like something at like 35, 34 marked up yesterday for wick entry sells, but that didn't happen until 1 a.m. at night, right? But yeah, like daily candle closed bearish. You're pulling back right now again. I think in terms of the ranges, we're still like sitting between I'll say these areas down here and also these areas up here. So like in between these areas still. Haven't filled the bottom of the range yet. I'm hoping if CPI could actually just like come down towards the bottom of the range here and actually fill that range, so we can actually have a bottom wick, right? Because we are in this range, but I wouldn't say like you're ranging yet. And usually when you do range, you would range after filling the bottom of the areas, right? So this might be a little higher actually, but Like you see that there's a little gap here between the lows that you created and then also like the lows to the left here. So there's still a little bit of room. So that's usually what would happen when you would start ranging. You would actually come down, fill it, and then after you reject, obviously that's when you can say it's a range, right? But like looking at this, you can say there's a range in between, right? Which it could be as well. But I think it could be, there's a little more room to continue down. I think like ranging here is like between here and here, not just like here and here, because I think this is still going to be considered like the middle, right? Like it could be a range within a range, right? But in terms of like overall, like this is like the middle of the range, right? So the entire range is from here to here. So to actually bounce between these areas and these areas, you need to have the bond, right? So it's like kind of like you're supplying your demand zones on price there. So yeah, like that's kind of what we've been looking at for like a couple weeks now. But I'll mark up like 38.88 and then I'll mark up this resistance up here just to like reference the ranges, right? So the same ranges we've had for 2 weeks now, that hasn't changed. Weekly leg candle fill, I forgot to speak about that, but that almost got filled yesterday. I thought yesterday was gonna be a day that it would actually gonna get filled, but you rejected, right? Or no, you came down, and you came close to filling it, maybe like 320 pips away from filling the bottom of the range completely. So yeah, you did get a rejection prior to that. Yeah, still got a little bit of room. How much is that again? This is 370, and then down towards that daily zone is like roughly 860. So it's decent. But yeah, I think all signs still shows that it's still somewhat bearish. Like even looking at it from like a 4-hour time frame perspective, like you're looking at these lower highs here. So these are initial highs, these can be lower highs, and all of these are just minor lower highs on the way down as well. So that's still holding structure, right? That won't change until you actually like break structure. So until you actually like break the highs above these areas, right? Because this could be considered a range too, but like here and here, right? Like until you actually break the highs or break structure, right? That's when you can kind of tell that structure is starting to shift. But until then, like anything up here can still be lower highs. It's still holding these overall areas, right? So it's like, that's what I mean by it's still bearish until that actually breaks. And 4200 is kind of where you want to see break because that's a break of structure, and then above there can be buys finally, right, for us. But yeah, until then, like you're just between these areas. You can probably start marking up in between the zones here. Let's see what I got. 42, 49, 36. What else do you have? Somewhere up here as well. What is this? 42, 26. Oh, hold on. How much is these ranges? These are... This range right here is 44,600, right? You want to divide this in half a little bit just to separate it. So let's go put something up here, like 42, 41. I think that's the same zones we had yesterday too, for like where you want to start seeing buys. Right until then, I don't know what's gonna happen yet. So I'll mark up these 3 major zones, right? So then now you have above here, you have like 1,100 pips. Below here, the ranges are like 3,300. And what else do you got? Like this is just one massive range now. Like it was decent. I think end of June, and then to start July off, right? It's kind of just been ranging in these areas since. So like you can just kind of leave this as one entire range if you want to. If you want to divide it, you can also add maybe something in between like here, right? But like then again, like the issue is like maybe up here to match with these highs. The issue is that you could still break, like even if you have it here and you have it here too, where I have it, even if you break these highs here, this can still at any given point flip bearish. So even if it does break, you still want to see lots of structure being created on the way up to confirm that you're holding to continue driving up. And the same goes for like 4180 or 4148 too. Like even if you break above here, like it doesn't really mean much, because as long as you don't break these highs here, any of these areas could be lower highs, and this could be a lower high to continue down still. With the overall, like I guess like the yearly trend right now is what we're on, right? It's still bearish. So at any given point that could happen. So you don't want to like jump the gun early. So just be a bit cautious, like when you are breaking structure. I think what we could do still is take wick entry sells on the way up, because I do think there could be like some structure that's going to be required to actually go up. Like it's going to be difficult for us to just come up like this, right? You'll likely create like some structure. So like maybe like 41, 48 could be like wick entry sells, right? How far is this? This is maybe like 1100, right? So like, you know, like ranges wise, like where you could head to based on if you're below certain areas or if you're closing below certain zones or above certain zones, right? So like anything below, like anything holding like these ranges right now, like these highs could come down towards 38.88 still, right? So as it comes up, based on how it comes up, if let's say it's post news or later in the session, but if you do pop up, could we get wick entry sells as a first initial reaction, right? Because you're expecting higher lows to occur, and if you were to continue down, amazing. If you don't continue down, then you're going to create a higher low to continue up anyways, right? So then you can get in on that move for the higher low. You'll be out way before it even comes back up. So that's an idea. Another idea is just continuation of sells. Like I think yesterday we had like 4,007 or something like that, I think marked up around here, or 98. I think it was like 98 zones, 98, 97 zones. So below here, right? So that was like late session, we didn't get in, but you have rejected that zone since. So there is a bit of structure. You can see looking left too, like there has been minor zones like here coming across. So this could be an area it could reject that. I wouldn't take wick entry sells here just because of like this move coming up. I think there was a bit of structure, like higher lows like here, just a bit, nothing too crazy, but just a bit. So I do like, if this was like a one push up, amazing, right? Which is why I didn't want the sells last night, but that happened at 1 a.m. so I went to bed way before that. But yeah, you see how you have structure now. So like you don't want to take wick entry sells here. If you want to take wick entry sells, it's more so like the next resistance zone, which is like more so above here, right? So then like you can mark that zone up, go back on the 4 and see where it is. It's gonna be likely this no top wick zone. So like this might not be bad as well. How far is this? This is like 500 pips. That's not too bad, but obviously it depends on how you come up, right? So like 40 80 could be potential areas for wick entry sells. 41 48 could be potential areas. It just depends on whether like this is one consistent move up, or if this does come up, like, it might not even come up. It might just, yeah, news might just take it down, right? But if it does come up, is there structure? Because if there is, then this zone can't be used. You're gonna have to adjust it and move it towards the next areas, which is 41 48. Maybe there could be something in between later on as we continue to shift up. But yeah, just wick entry sells as like liquidity or continuation sells, and continuation sells are more likely to be, I'm assuming, below here now, right? Because you want to see it come back down, and you want to see it pull back and hold in case this is going to be a fake out, and it still could be a fake out, right? This is the bomb to range, and if you close below for the first time again, it can lead to a fake out if you're not careful of that pullback, right? So I'd rather wait for that pullback to occur, and then once you actually do start shifting back below into the ranges, that's like my sells, right? Or the other option is you come up first and then you start shifting down back below these ranges, and then this below here won't require too much of like top wicks. You might just be able to get in with like minor pullbacks, right? Nothing too major, but it really depends on like what happens before you get down there. So I can't like predict like from here whether you're gonna come down or up, because it's like how it comes up or down that matters more than actually closing above or below the ranges. That'll lead to our next ideas, right? Yeah, that's kind of what I got going on here, chat. Wick entry sells 40.80 could be potential. For now, it's not bad. There's a no top wick there on 4 from yesterday's NY session, right? And then the next zone after that is 41.48 900, which is also wick entry sells, and then continuation below here. And that's pretty much it. I think same like analysis as yesterday, really. Yeah, not bad. News comes out and hopefully that will pick up. Let me just copy this over, and then all I really gotta do after that, just wait for price to move. If it moves 40 or 38, That's like raw. Like I just got on, so whatever like I do live, whatever I did just now, chat, is like literally from the top of my head every morning. So that's like the first time I look at my charts. There's no like I usually don't check before. 40, 80, 41, 48. And yeah, 4,200 as well, like 42, 41, right? Above there. Like if you guys are asking about buys, like it won't be until above those areas. Unless you come down, break the lows, and then you start faking back into the ranges. But even then, I think that's still gonna be above 41, 48. So like either way, like if it comes down first, you're still gonna need a shift for 3,400 pips. And same thing, if it just comes up from here, then that's gonna be 2,100 pips before I look for buys. So it's like pretty far, right? But that's like the same buy zone we've had for the last couple weeks now, or a couple days now. 4,200, right? Oh yeah, 42, 41, and then 43, 62. What's up, Ellis? All right, but yeah, that's it for a CPI. Let's see how it comes out, chat. Got 2 minutes here, so yeah, you have that, and then I guess Fed Chairman Wash testifies later too at 10. So I think it's this, some type of meeting or something later at 10. We'll find out anyways, right? How was Asian last night? I didn't check until late. Like the only thing that I saw during Asian last night was maybe like the wick entry sales, like 34, 35 is what I had. And I was hoping it would happen like 9, 10, and then it happened at 1. So I was after I went to bed. But that wasn't too bad off of these areas here. Like this pullback also isn't crazy. It's like decent. It's nothing too crazy. So that's why like 4180 is still doable for the wick entry sales if it decides to pop up. But you know, if it re-breaks the lows and continues up, then that's like a much steeper one. That might have to be moved. Yeah, let's see. You have a minute here. Got 15 seconds. You said you ain't here for the vibes. Dude, locked into them. And yeah, if we get the wick entry, oh, here we go. 4080 might be tapped like right now. Holy shit. Chat, if we get in here, how much your stop's gonna be? 25, 0.03 lie. Okay. Chat, wick entry sells right here off of these zones here. We tapped 4080 off bat, right? That was like kind of just broken down just now. BE zones, I'll have like, I think we'll do probably 40. How much did we just get there? 70? We'll do probably 40, 74 BE zones. Next zones below there will be trail stops and then just continuation at trail stops below, okay? And then TP will attempt maybe down here. We'll try attempt something like this. Like one, I think there could be runners here. We got one, 4064. But yeah, 4080 wick entry sells, and then how much? I don't know. That was way too fast. I don't know how much we got there, but again, still same idea. Like still expecting reactions here, right? To continue up. And then stops are 19 or 2500. It was so 4331. Did the signal send? Yeah, it did. Okay, cool. So yeah, 44 43.31 ish stops, and then management is above like 42.41. All right. If this re-breaks low, just get ready here for like BE zones. It might be a little lower. It could be a little lower. We'll see. Maybe 40.77. Yeah, do you guys know what we got there? It was way too quick for me. Even, like, I know we got in profit, but it was like for a split second only. It was like 60-ish, like around there. 40, 50, 60-ish. It was around there. How much is this push? Wow. News came out. Yeah, we got it around like after like 500 pips, like 490. And this is like total 680. It's a little bit of drawdown here. You still haven't gotten to reactions, right? So expecting that to happen. Which again, in these zones is what we're expecting, especially in these areas too. And we had positions here in the past too, right? Here and here for wick entry sells as well, I'm pretty sure. But if we get a runner, that'd be nice tip. This is like a more volatile candle than like FOMC, I think. Yeah, 70 pips in profit for a few seconds during Asian yesterday. That's it. These lows should be pretty key. Again, chat, it doesn't like I'm not attempting like a reversal completely here, because like this can be a higher low too, right? Like the idea is that even if it were to come up, you're expecting higher lows to happen before going up. Even if it's not a higher low before going up and it just continues down, then I mean it continues down. We can get runners, like runners, right? But our TP is only here for now. If it retraces more, we could extend TP, etc. But that's the idea behind the trade, right? So yeah, 40.80, basically right here, like along these areas. I was looking at like maybe a little lower than 40.80 earlier too. I was looking at maybe like this no bottom wick right here, no top wick at 40.69, but anywhere between there. And then we happen to get like basically 40.81. So yeah, this is the first. I think it's the first trade in like since last Thursday. You didn't trade yesterday? No, this is the first trade of the week. Yesterday we came close, like we came close to sells, but it never occurred. And this is this we just analyzed like literally just before news came out, and then news came out and then came right up into that zone there. So I think the hardest thing to break here for us would probably be like 40.69, like as you come down. 40.69, so like at that point we'll be like trading stops and profit anyways, chat, but that would be like the zone that you probably want to be at least making a decision at. The bottom of this range right here. I think that'll be at least like 100% profit on 10ish. The lat loss increase at the 2K mark. We increased lots at 2K, so like when we went from like a 0.08 to a 0.14, that's like our max lot. But we can't even use a max. We can't use a 0.14 anymore because stops are like way bigger than they had been last year, right? So I'm using like percentage risk. So I'll have like a max lot size, but then I'm still using a percentage risk. But that's like the max lot I'll use in terms of percentage risk. It just depends on how big stops are. Should have it went BE, to be honest. What'd you get just now to go BE though? I didn't see it, so I'm trying to figure out like I don't. It's not. It was within the same minute counter, right? So I couldn't even see it. It was like way too quick. Oh, your swim position. True. Hit to break the lows. It's just between here and here, 9. At least there. Maybe we could move TP a bit. How much is the difference between here and here? 40? You said go down to 4K. That'll be nice. We won't be in by 4K though. So yeah, just get ready here, chat. For BE zones and then trail stop zones. If we can get a trail stops, that'd be nice. I think BE would be like at least 79, and trail stops would be right below it at 30, 38, or 77, 38 pips ish. This is the first higher low though, right? So it can still flip. Since like we got in, like we didn't get at the peak high, right? We got in like here expecting this to be the high area, and it came up a little higher, but still like looking at this, like when you do reject these areas here, like these would be the areas you'll struggle at. So like still like 73. I'll say you still got a little room to there, looking left there, looking at this move from here to here. When you reject it here, you got bottom wick down towards here, so it should still be good. You said 45. Yeah, like below, like anywhere below. Yeah, 45, I'll say 45, 40 zones. Below there should flip the candle completely. But from here to 45 is like, you know, like 370. You got slipped on this entry? Damn, you got an 86? I'm jealous, bro. That's like a 50 pip difference. Fib, please, I don't use the fib. How did the news come out? I'm assuming it came out negative, right? Yeah, it came out negative, all negative. The weekly flipped, right? On that push or no? Was that the weekly flip? Yeah, it flipped for sure in the weekly, but didn't make a new high. The new high was still there from yesterday. What time is it? 41. So yeah, 4 minutes till 15 closure. If the 50 can close with a top wick here, the next 15 should be able to make a bottom wick, and that bottom wick could be your exit. I think our next wick entry sell zone, aside from this one, was 41.48. I think that was our next zone. I don't think I had anything in between. Maybe like 120 don't look too bad though. But yeah, I think it was 148. Those are our stop chat. That's why we use this 0.03 lot. 20, 43, 37. So it's a little like wider today. So 0.03 lot was what we use. But that's our stop. And then management, I think I'll be more so above here. Between I'll say like 60 or 4,200 and 4,241. That's what we'll have to manage. Do you think if it breaks the highs, it'll fill the gap from yesterday? I think there's potential. Yeah, like between like, I didn't have anything between like 80 and 140. So yeah, if it's not like 80, next zones are going to be 140 where you can get a reaction at. And I think that gap is here, right? Like at 105. Yeah, there's potential. Or no, I think you already filled it, no? Isn't this the gap right here? Right? It's still there, right? Unless this is bullish. No, the gap is up at 120. But yeah, like the next zones are like 120 and then 48. So if it continues going up, like you could expect like these to be the next areas to tap. Yeah, looks different. On mine, like the gap is like, I think same thing though, like 120. Those zones. So like this is a higher low, right? I don't know like how major it is though. Okay, honestly, if this is a range, even if like you were to get a fake out, it'll be below their areas anyways before going up. You're still good from that standpoint, but this is like the first like higher low. So like you obviously wanted to get in on like on the highs, right? But I didn't have any zones here. I didn't have anything at 102. I had like a 180. That's it. So we anticipated this to create that structure at 80. But again, looking left, like it's still good in terms of like, even when you did get a reaction here in the past, it came all the way down towards like 73. So you still got like traffic to 73. So I'm guessing like if this is a range here that's forming now, like on a minute, between here and here, 73 is like down here, which could be the higher low for price. So if price were to like fake out like this, right? That could be the area if it does continue up. I think it spreads a little wider coming down here and going up as well. Yeah, so no one saw how much we got peak, or is it too quick? I could have sworn I think it was like 74 or something. It was quick though. I think I was looking at I was on the 1 hour, so I couldn't really tell. Let's see. First move down after the first move up. From this move up after the first retracement. First lower high, basically. Let's see. These could be leg candles here if you look at it like that, but you can treat this as 1, 2 if you re-break the lows. But yeah, like I think 79 is gonna be BE's chat, and then again 77 trail stops and profit, and then we'll just continue trailing afterwards, right? Like 74, I think it's a pretty good trail too, and then below 69 should be clean traffic to TP. But I think 69 is gonna be the hardest thing to break right here out of all of these zones. What a slip is? A slip is like when you enter, but then like there's lots of volume. So let's say you want to enter at 81 and there's lots of volume going up here. Some people might have gotten entries at like, let's say 87. So in this case, like you might have gotten a better entry if you got slipped. But sometimes like if you're, let's say you're looking for a buy, right? If you enter a buy at 81, you might have gone at 85 instead. So you get slipped on a buy. It depends like what position you kind of took. Could this be? Spread is high. Looks pretty invisible. So it didn't re-break the lows here. It's fine still, but came close. I think this was like earlier, maybe 7 pips away from BE, and the second push was maybe like 14 pips away from BE, or not from BE, from our entry. BE is a little lower. Let's see, 15 close, I think, right? Oh no, 15 close 5 minutes ago. 15 close 5 minutes ago. Bottom wick first. So let's see. 1 hour close in about 10 minutes as well. So if the 1 hour close is where it is, you can expect a 1 hour bottom wick as well on a new opening. If we're still in this trade by 9. Let's see, broke the lows here. Can I get a pop? Literally the same exact trade here. I think we also had drawdown there too, right? That was on July 1st, right? July 1st. Oh. All right, back down towards in profit here. Can we get a BE zone? 79.21 is BE. I think that's where we kind of exited last time too, but that's it. Spreads are kind of wide here. The re-break of this low should be BE. All right, chat. So BE, risk-free trade. If you can re-break this, that next white line with trail stops and profit, we'll move stops like maybe down to this white line. All right, let's continue trailing here. So trail stops and profit, that zone got tapped, and that's it. Literally the exact same trade. Look at this. On July 1st, and it's same trade here. Same thing. I think we got the same drawdown too, right? What was it here? This one was, I'm trying to see, what was July 1st's trade? July 1st, right? What did we take that day? Sells, wick entry sells, same thing. Nah, like, no, we didn't get a drawdown that day. That day we got 0 drawdown. For some reason, I thought we were in on this drawdown too. But same trade though overall. Same exact opening, same closure. But yeah, that was a wick entry sell chat. Obviously, like, we didn't expect drawdown because that's the point, right? You want to get in for wick entry sells. Like, the idea is you get in at the wick entry, but it doesn't always happen. Sometimes there could be drawdown like there was today. But I think in terms of overall move, like, you're still expecting, like, the reasoning behind the wick entry is you're expecting a higher low to occur before going up. So, or if it were to continue up, you're expecting a higher low. If it were to continue down, then you continue down, amazing, you get runners, right? But that's kind of what you expect, because price isn't just gonna like continue moving up forever. It's gotta like slow down, pause, pull back, etc. And yeah, this was a pullback, right? It's just we didn't get the wick. If we got the wick, you know, no doubt about it, it would have been a nice runner. But yeah, it's still early too, so we can probably get another trade. I'm guessing the next trade could be continuation of sells. Like, if you were to start popping back below like 40.40, so we can start looking for sells way ahead of like 40 or 3900, right? I think our sells are below here originally, but if you came all the way up to here and make a high, there's no reason to come down again. If you do come down again, right, start breaking back into these ranges, you can start looking for like continuation of sells. But yeah, I'm just gonna join the sell chat and then we'll come back and see what's up, okay? But I think that was, yeah, it's open 0.03 lot, so half of what we used last time, or a little less than half. Probably like a 0.15, 0.20%, right? 579. So Friday, Monday, Sunday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, 0, 5.79. Cool. And then let's turn it up. $14.7, 2026. So 8:30. Then pips that we did 19.3. 19.3 and then 21-minute trade. So New York gold bearish, normal, bias is bearish, right? Yeah, bias is still bearish today. Sells, liquidity on the 1, wick entry sells, pretty straightforward. Watch for resistance, BEs, yes. On the minute, we used the 1 hour there, the minute. What else did I use? The 4, I think the 4 as well. The no top wick was kind of one of the ideas too. 4 and the 1, and that's about it. Just those 2 time frames, and the higher time frames in the minute was like the entry. Expected liquidity on the 1, and it was win. 0.03 loss. Stops are kind of massive there, chat, like 2,500. So I think the next available stop was 19, but 19, I was afraid that 19 was here off of these highs, and I used that. Maybe this could have been doable. If we used 19, it would have been like a 0.07 lot. So then it would have been like maybe 0.40% instead of 0.20. That's fine though. 5.79. And then pips wise, we did 19.3. So, you know, nothing crazy. Let's see the drawdown though. What was peak drawdown here? 220. And then max profits we saw there was, what was peak? I think 38, right? Yeah, I think all of our trades in July have been like 38 pips, and then it comes back to like our trail stop zones or BE. Exit reasoning, trail stop loss hit, and then on the minute, trail stop loss, and then we did 19.3. Cool. And then this one, right? So 20. So yeah, still waiting for that runner in July too. But chat, again, it will come naturally. You don't want to like force runners, like they will happen. I think we went through like a phase where we can get a runner for a minute too, and then it just kind of happens. One day it just runs. It's just up to price, right? But yeah, we can still get another trade today too. Still early. That was before 9, so like, you know, early trade. I don't think we had that in a minute. The last time we had a trade at 8:30 was maybe like on the 5th of June. June 5th, we had like an 851 trade. 851. May 27th, we had a 819. So yeah, it's been a while, but yeah, not bad. I'll take it. I think we're sitting at 1% for the month, so finally to the 1% mark. But yeah, chat, still got lots of time today, so I think our next ideas will be likely continuations of either direction. So like if you were to get fakeouts back into the ranges, like we're still looking for sells below like 40-20, 40-40, etc. And then buys again won't be for a while too. Like we're still maybe like 1,500 pips away from taking buys, so I'm gonna have to watch this drive up 1,500 pips before I look for buys. The other entry we can get is wick entry sells, but obviously it won't be anywhere in between, right? I think our next area is gonna be maybe like 4190 maybe up these ends. So yeah, in between, like it's gonna be, I don't know how much here. 4148 would have been nice, but you already pulled back here, right? So this is the steepest pullback up since. So if you re-break 4108, there's a chance that it could push through 4140. Don't get me wrong, 4140 could still be a zone, but you know what? Maybe it could still be a zone. I'll leave it here for now, and we'll see how it comes up from here. If it does come up from here, because if it moves straight up from here, it's still like 570. So that's not bad. But yeah, like the next idea is continuations or wick entry sells, same shit. Nothing has changed, right? From that move. Like that was a big move for CPI, don't get me wrong, but in terms of like overall like significance, did it do anything? Not really. It's again, it's in the range. So like there's nothing directional really about that move, right? So it could be anything still for the rest of the month, right? For opening though, for candle close bullish, there's a wick fill. So let this 4 open up, maybe it'll fill that wick. And if it does fill that wick, you'll break 110. And if you break 110, next zones are 4140, and that could be the next wick entry sell zone up here at 4145. All right, chat. I think this came down towards 69, right? Yeah, 69. So that was a zone I was like, that's gonna be the toughest area to break. And that's kind of where it rejected off of. All right, so I'll delete these zones now because we don't need these trail stop zones anymore. I'll delete all of that. 41.05 is the wick fill. We'll delete this. There's nothing significant there. 41.45 is next. There's a no top wick zone right here. We could use this, but since it's a pullback, I might just leave it up at 41.46, honestly. And yeah, that's the next move, chat. So maybe another like 630 pips until we get that. And then you have more. I think you have more folders at 10 too, or Fed chairman speaks or testifies. You're just happy it wasn't energy. That wasn't too bad. I didn't think it would be like a long trade. If it was, I think it would have like hit stops or like hit out before due to the volume. How long was that though? That was maybe 21 minutes. It's not bad. That's a decent drawdown. But yeah, chat. Let's delete all of this too. We don't really need all of that, right? Literally same exact price point. Usually like that's what I've noticed, chat. We get a lot of trades in the same price points. Like we've had 2 trades here in the past, right? Like same areas, like 95 to 75 zones. Let's see. Like I think more trades going across, like all the way across here too. Like there's been a lot of trades in these areas. They're just resistance support zones, right? So you're always gonna buy and sell at the same areas when you're in the same ranges. That's how it goes. Oh yeah, trades taken. Let's put that up. .20%, right? 90. Why'd you exit? That was the plan. There's no like, there's not that much thinking for me once we have like those zones marked up, like those BE zones and trail stop zones marked up. It's just like, it's the same way when we're in drawdown too. There's not much thinking, but there's already like zones that we have planned ahead of time on where we're gonna like manage the trade and drawdown, right? So like same goes for like our BEs and trail stop zones. It's just like you mark them up and then it's just up to price. Like you're not in control of that. Like you can mark up where you want to put those BE zones and trail stop zones at, and I had them right there off of like support zones, right? Not off of my feelings. And then that's what price gave me today. So there's no like, oh shit, I should have held like price and drive down there like 400 pips for I know, but that was my move, and I'm able to replicate that same decision making the next day. Not like, oh, imagine now like we close right here, right? We had a closure, and then tomorrow this thing today ends up running like an extra 400 or 500 pips. Tomorrow if I come back, I'm gonna be like, oh shit, since yesterday moved 400 to 500 pips, today's position, I'm not gonna like, let's say today's tomorrow, I'm gonna be like, I'm not gonna hold for that short. Tomorrow I'm gonna extend my BE zones, and now you're just trading with emotions. You're trading with like an attachment to like what happened a day prior. So like every day is a new reset. But like what's not reset every day is like where you're placing your BE zones and your trail stop zones, etc., etc. Like that's like how you stay consistent, because otherwise you're just always gonna be holding on to emotions and like holding on to like a past trade or taking a trade off of a past trade. Like imagine like you took a loss, right? Then the next trade you take, you're like, oh man, like, yes, I took a loss, so I need to extend my TP here because I need to make my loss back. All of a sudden, you're trading with emotions. Like, you're trading with feelings. Like, you don't want to trade with no feelings. You want to trade with like a routine, because that's gonna be consistent. You can't control, like, you know, how much you're gonna get. I can't control like if I'm gonna get a runner there or not. It's just up to price. So it's like, that's what I mean by like runners come naturally. Like some days we could get them, some days we may not, but I'm not like here to force like a win or like a certain amount of pips or like whatever. It's just up to price. And that's how you stay consistent every day. Like every day you wake up, you're just marking your zones, marking your levels, and then you're letting price do its thing. Right? Like we're not in control of price. We can't really like, you know, force price to go a certain way or for however long. And that's what we've been doing for like, or that's what helped me like not get caught up in my emotions in trading. Yeah, there's no like regrets. There are some days too where we exit and then it actually rejects and we actually have the perfect exit. That happened I think last week. What are we gonna do now? Say, ah shit, see, we had the perfect exit. Like, nah, like we did get the perfect exit, cool, but why? Because we marked up our BE zones and trail stop zones, not because like we anticipated that to be the perfect exit. You know what I mean? So that's like the approach you want to go in trading with, not like with some type of emotional attachment. Like, oh, I need to pay my bills at the end of the month, so let me just go ahead and like extend my TP. Like, fuck that shit. You gonna end up in this constant cycle for years. Like I see traders who are like still in that constant cycle. Like they go from this mentor to that mentor, and it's like, bro, it's not the mentor, it's just you. It's just your psychology, it's your emotions, your attachment to these things. It's not, you can pick a piece of shit strategy and make it work if you have the right mentality, right? It doesn't matter about the strategy. It's like your mental. Like how could you be consistent in being mentally there every single day and repeating the same process every single day? That's what consistent is. You can't be consistent with pips because the market conditions change every day. Right? Today might have moved 500 pips, tomorrow could move 100. But you can't expect the same pips today and tomorrow, and the next day and the day after that. All right, so that's like, that's what I'll say for that. But what happened to you, Benzo? You got stung by a bee? You got stung by a bee on your ear? GG's. I got stung. Well, yo, we were just talking about bees the other day on stream. That ass. Took me a year. A year is good. A year is good. A year is very good. Some people, some traders, it takes them, like they're still doing it 6 years later and they're still chasing the next strategy. And it's like, they're just trying to find that holy grail. Like there's no holy grail strategy. Like I promise you, chat, you can deadass pick a piece of shit strategy and make it work. Like I have a negative RR strategy, bro. This isn't even like the most like industry strategy. This is like the most like opposite of the industry, and it's just mental, because it's all just mental. The strategy don't matter. Again, you can pick a piece of shit strategy and make it work if you are disciplined. It's all discipline. It's not, there's no like luck or anything. It's just discipline. It's just like, how could you be there every day, consistently there every day? So that's like a lot of that work is also off charts as well. It's not always like on chart, you know. Trading is like 24/7, but like, you know, like we're on for like what, 15 hours a week. We're trading for maybe like, depends if we're in drawdown or not, but like anywhere from 10 to 15 minutes total in the week we're actually in a trade, you know, if there is a trade. So a lot of it is just planning. Like the planning part of trading is more important than the actual execution part, because when you plan it out, you won't be as worried when you're in the trade. You're in drawdown, you're not worried because you picked a selective stop. You're not picking a stop loss off of like, oh, 20 pips, because like, what the fuck is 20 pips even, right? What is 20 pips equivalent to price action, equivalent to like breaking structure, equivalent to like whatever, or a block, whatever you use, right? Any strategy that you use. But what is 20 pips or a fixed pips or fixed risk compared to price. So like, again, have a stop loss that's like part of your strategy. Like when you pick your stop loss, make sure it's something you can repeat every day. And then again, the planning part of the trade is like you plan it out. When you go and draw, you're not as worried compared to like if you were to go into a trade and there's a flaw. Let's say there was one of your confluences. Then let's say your FEG wasn't on point. Your FEG was like 100 pips above, or like let's say 500 pips above, and you entered earlier just because you FOMO'd. You're gonna be worried in the trade now because that for a fact your FEG didn't line up. So it's better to have all of your confluences checked off than to get into a trade than like have one or two confluences off and then get in anyways, because it's just not worth the energy as well when you're in the trade. It's like any trade can go in a drawdown, but you know, at least you can control like, you know, how confident you are or like how much of the strategy actually aligns with your confluences in the trade. You talk nice, but life's shown different in your account. Bro, I've been talking like this since like forever. You just might be new to the channel, bro. I've talking about these cycles, bro. That's how you think my channel grew in the first place. It's like that's just how I talk, like forever. What are you talking about? Like I don't gotta like LARP, bro. I wasn't like didn't make money and learn how to put fits together. I knew how to put fits together way before the fucking money. You know, it's like it's the same goes with your mindset. Like it's just how you approach stuff. It's not like nothing changed really. So it's like, what are you talking about, bro? How long you been here for? This is your first day here, bro. You gonna make an opinion off of one day, one trade? And you're not even accurate about it. At least give the real numbers. Like we didn't lose 61 bucks. We lost 1,000 bucks and we made $5. Not 61 bucks and we made $5. Like I don't need no car stylist or like outfit stylist. Like no, like, bro, this is how I am, bro. That ass. This is how I talk. This is how my dad taught me, or my parents taught me. I just say whatever's on my mind, like whatever my opinion is. Like, you know, not everything I say is right. It's just my experience, right? I just share my experience, like wherever I'm at. Like I do think we can get to a point where we might have a positive RR one day. Right? I've been saying that for a while. I don't know when, but I think there's a high chance we could get there. But maybe not for a couple of years. I'm not trying to go negative or positive. It's just naturally as we find out more errors in our strategy, you know, like we'll adjust. And over time, I'm assuming we'll adjust enough to get to a point where the strategy just gets more optimal overall. Right? But to adjust, you need to take losses, and that's it. You know, like there's not much data off of that for last year. Shout out to MK. My favorite entry type, I don't know. I think wick entries are like breakouts, and that's kind of all we've been taking. Like I think all of our trades in this month chat have been wick entries. Yeah, I think all our trades this month have been wick entries. I think part of it, look, if you look at price too, like you can see why, right? Like we have been coming up a little bit this month, like since the month started, but we're overall still bearish on the higher time frame. So higher time frame drive, small time frame range, like what's that gonna lead to, right? That's gonna lead to wick entry sells because you're still bearish overall due to the higher time frame, and then smaller time frame you're looking for just those smaller time executions, right? So if you go to the playbook, like this is kind of where we're in right now. We're in like a higher time frame drive, small time frame range. So then wick entries are nice because you're following the higher time frame anyways, right? But higher time frame drive, smaller time frame range, and then look right here. what to look for, lower time frame liquidity. So any small moves up, going up, right, could be like wick entries to continue down. So then we have like breakouts here and onions. And what to be careful of is mistaking liquidity as reversal. So like what to be careful of is like mistaking like these moves up as a reversal. So that's why like I'm still a little far from the buys, because buys are like not until 42, 45, like above those areas there. So yeah, it's just, you know, the playbook, the dead ass like really helps. It just guides you. Helps guides you. W Pirates. Sorry, what's your opinion on this? Trading only high impact news with having trade one way of stop loss, and if stop loss hits during news, then quickly trading opposite. If I was to grab a huge profit sweat, trading only high impact news with having trade one way of stop loss. What does that mean? So like just like revenge trading, you're asking me? You said if stop loss gets hit, then quickly trading opposite. I mean, that could be a strategy. There's no such thing as revenge trading really if you make it work, but you know, I don't really. It's just too much emotions. It's just like it's just high trigger points, because like you're in and out and then you go in and out again. Like that's why I like to journal after my trade at least. So I have a little cool down period, and since my journal is long, it's at least 5 minutes. And then I have a little cool down period. I have to think logically again. Like I get to write down what I did, you know, like, and then I get into trading again. But I don't know, like there's no such thing as like revenge trading really if you make it work. But that isn't really my approach. But I don't understand what you said about that. You said with having trade one way of stop. Like, what do you mean? Like, with like if news goes up, you're gonna take buys. Is what you're trying to say? Like today, for instance. And then if you hit stop loss, you're gonna take the sells down afterwards. The only thing of that is that news doesn't always come out like this. You know, like this is like rare. Not rare, not too rare, but like this is a pretty volatile push, and it's not always as like strong as this. Let me check. Did I get better entries on the other accounts then? A lot of people saying they got slipped, right? 4081. Oh yeah, I got an 81 entry on one account, 81.05, and then the other account I got a 4081.05. What did I get on my account? I lied. Nah, same shit. 4081.18. I think I got a little worse entry. True. I don't know what you mean by trade one way though. What does that mean? Like you take it with the bias or against the bias, or against like how news came out? Oh, yeah, we hit 2,700 again. We made a withdrawal, so it dropped a little bit, but we just recovered. Yeah, I think lot size increased at 3K, so we got another 300 to go. So we'll see. Maybe Maybe next month, end of August, we can hit that or something. Who knows? What's a Professor Lightyear? In 10 minutes, buyers. I'm gonna say this could be a higher low still. Yeah, this could still continue up here. If 4070 breakdown doesn't happen, it's a buy continuation. If a 47 breakdown doesn't happen, I wouldn't say that, nah, because it can even come down below to here and then come up. Like there's it's why I don't have like anything going on in between, because anything in between is very unpredictable. Like you could go up here because you haven't come up for news and you can say this is the first pullback to continue, but then again at the same given time on the higher time frames, like these could be lower highs, and if those are lower highs, this can just take its way back down for all I know. So like if you're asking me like where and how it's gonna go up or down from here, like I wouldn't know, and it's why like between here it's really nothing I can really wait for. The only thing I do have is the wick entry sells at 41.46 if it goes up, not like when it goes up, or it will go up, right? I'm not saying in that sense, but if it does go up, that's a wick entry sell for me. But in between here, like can I tell if it's gonna go up and down for me? I don't know. I would tell it's able to go down if you start breaking below 40.40. If you start breaking below there and pulling back and hold, then yeah, below here I'll start looking for sells, because these like lower highs will be like structure, right? And if you have structure, then that builds the sells, or the cycle starts to shift, the market structure starts to shift. But that's gonna require like a fine trade pop down, right? So yeah, it's gonna. I don't know in between. I generally don't know. The news re-breaks, nah, we took it once, but it was very short-lived. It's not bad though. I think today would have worked out if you took the re-break of the highs. I guess the issue with it was like I just couldn't get enough like information off of it, because news doesn't always come out as volatile. I think we took that position like once, yeah, like, or 4 times, like the news re-break. I think we took it last year maybe. No, like not even. The last time we took that play was like 2024. So yeah, like nah, I just didn't have enough data on it. Might as well get rid of it, right? And then the leg candle rejection too, like we took that once. I'm not too sure what retest of the higher lows means. That's very vague. I might get rid of this. Honestly, I might just get rid of a lot of these like that we don't take. Might get rid of this. Get rid of this. News re-break. Probably get rid of that too. The re-break. News re-break. Get rid of that. Celery, we don't take anymore, to be honest. Like, but I'll leave it there for nostalgic reasonings. Celery will leave. That's a classic play. Can't take that out. The thing about the celery is that I think I'd still take it, just not directly a celery. Like it's like you can get a celery on like a minute time frame, but on the 1 hour you're taking a wick fill, right? So it's like you might not see it directly, but it could be happening too. But yeah, I'll leave celery. That's a classic play. And when it comes to time frames, it's just look at the 1 hour time frame. 250 trades on the 1 hour time frame, and then second comes 5 minute, and then third comes like 30 minute, and 4. The minute's getting up there too. Do I trade props? No, I don't trade props. Where you're saying that it can still rally, are you basing that off downtrend? Off the higher time frame? Yeah, because it can still be a lower high. On a small time frame, this is a pretty nice bullish push. It's just that you don't have enough structure I don't have enough structure to confirm that's going up yet. Like I would need to see a pullback and then continuations up like this, and then I can eventually get the buys up, you know what I mean? But yeah, until then, like, I can't tell. So like I want to see more information, right? So like more information for me would mean like I'll need to see it drop up like this. And if it does, the information is like how it drove up. So how the candles look. Is there like structure? Is there not structure? And then that will give me positions or not based on like if there is structure or not. Because then that's how we get wick entry sells, right? If there's no structure going up, then 41, 46 is valid. But if you start getting like structure going up like this on the way up, like can 41, 46 be valid? Nah. So like I hardly ever like set and forget my zones, because these zones change based off of like how it's going up. So a lot of times I think traders, what they do is they pay more attention to their zones rather than like how it's actually going up. But how it goes up is it tells you a lot of information, like a lot. It's more important than the zone itself. You know what? Also, we stopped taking the firecracker. We stopped taking that too. That was like short-lived. The motion. Remember the motion, chat? The motion just ended up becoming dry range liquidity, so that's what that was. Because the motion was just understand market cycles, really, right? So that's just dry range liquidity. If you guys are new, just check out the playbook. This should help you understand my strategy a lot better, like what I do and what I take. Because this is just what we base it off of every day. I memorize the chart. Because I mean, obviously I made it, right? So I memorized it. So I don't need to like pull it up and show exactly each time. But if you have questions about like what I'm doing every day, like let's say next week we go on Monday and you're like, Don, what type of like situation are we in on the playbook? And I'll point it out. Like today we're in a drive higher time frame or range small time frame. And then when it comes to setups, this is what we're looking for: breakouts and onions. What to look for is lower time frame liquidity. Adopt your patience level W. This shows the firecracker play. What was the firecracker like? Up and then down? Like what was that? Isn't it like up and then you have a self stop after, right? I don't remember. I forgot. That was a short-lived play. A wick entry saw a huge pop up. It was a wick entry sell though. That's what that was. Three, 4 pineapples, yeah. I think those days are over. I don't know. I don't know when I'll take 3, 4, but I'll take one. I'll take a pineapple still. We haven't had much chances this year. Maybe one time we came really close. That one trade with 2,000 pip drawdown. That one day on March 20th. Aside from that though, like we haven't gotten much opportunities. But that's the thing. That's good too, because like I say, like the only way we can get pineapples is if like our trade is fucked. Like our first initial position is going to be very difficult to come down towards, right? And we base off of structure. So then we can take a position to kind of help come back to the BE zones, but not from like a hope standpoint, right? Otherwise you'd be stacking like 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 pineapples. But you want to take that strategically as well. Right? But usually like if your first position is good, which a lot of times this year so far, even though we're in drawdown, it's still a high chance you come down towards that entry zone. You know, we don't need a stack one. It's still good. For Russell Lightyear, yeah, we do. We just did this one. This trail was on the minute. The minute and the 5 we use a lot. but I still utilize the higher time frame. I use all of them though. Like I always try to use all of them. Supreme, bruh. Good morning. What is onion? Onion is buying as like selling at resistance, really. But before, I think what we used to do is wait for a closure. So for instance, like if there's a resistance here and there's a support here, and let's say this candle closes like bearish, we'll take a sell on the next 30-minute candle close opening once it closes bearish. But I think we can't, it's onion went from waiting for a closure to taking wick entry sells at the top of the range. So it's like we can still take the onion, maybe not directly off of like a closure. We just take it right off the bat for wick entries at the resistance zones. And usually they're like higher time frame zones too. But still effective, you know? Like you can still take the onion. Like I think off, like in this case, the 5 closed bearish. But that's the thing. You still gotta understand time frames. Honestly, as long as you understand market cycles, man, you're like you're gonna be way more calm on the charts off rip. If you understand the drive range liquidity in my playbook, like I think that's, I wouldn't say it's all you need, but like that's like the foundation really. Once you understand that, you know what to expect on certain days in terms of your trading. Like you're not just gonna take a wick entry every single day. Yo, you gotta change the date. You gotta change the date. You gotta make a file and then just start the day off with like 2026 or whatever date you're starting off of, and then it should just be able to like generate the rest of the dates. I'm not like a spreadsheet guy though. I didn't make the spreadsheet. If you want to, you could chat GPT it, but I'm pretty sure like you just kind of put the dates in. Wait, hold on, no, the TBJ journal for me, like I just put my date in manually. Maybe for, yeah, like I think once you do that, like the date should show here. And pick the date and the pair and all of that. But yeah, you should be able to put delete it and just put the dates. For the compound interest, I think this is when you want to, yeah, you just put whatever date you want to start off. And then just drag it down, like click on it and then drag this blue thing down, and it should just generate the rest of the dates. Like this. Like see how I'm running out of dates right now? I think you can just do this and then you just do that. Hold on. See, I don't know how to do this. I think you do that. All right. Hold on. Honestly, I don't know. I forgot. I do it. I'll figure it out. But I think I gotta delete this one, right? Oh, let's see. If I do like that and I drag it down, yeah, like that, and then it just adds it for you. But I'm gonna have to erase this trade, or like that. That works too. Yeah, that works too. I don't know why these numbers don't change though, but you can just adjust that. session trades done. Which session trades? Oh, I added it already, yeah. Oh, we're gonna update the wins though, yeah, true that. 573. 573 123 82. Cool. Onion is good, yeah. Even like for buys too, like here, especially when you're trending. Yeah, I think in this case, I think it's better for trending, obviously. But yeah, you have a resistance here, you have support there, you close bullish here, and then I think that's when we'll take buys. But the thing is, now we see a lot more things, so it's like we don't blindly just enter off of one candle, right? Like we need different time frames to align. So, and since this is only creating structure in the 5 minute and the 15, like I think I would need this to form more so in the 1 hour time frame or something. Or even wick entry buys, but it's not bullish enough for me to take wick entry buys. So that's the thing. Like it's just it evolved to a point where like not every onion is like a valid onion. Because I'm not looking for buys until 4,200, right? Until a structure breaks. And on the 15 you have an onion, right? So like there's some flaws there. That's it. It got a little slower for a little bit, chat, when news came out, but it's 9:30 now, so it should or could pick up. And then we have 10, and then yeah, again, like if we do come up above like 41.45, we'll look for wick entry sales again, you know? That's still the position next that we're looking for. And then maybe this week you can finally break above 4,200. You break above there, GG's. Damn. RIP to that bee though, man. You know when bees stings you, they die? So that bee, that was a wasp that stung you, right? A bee? I didn't know bees sting. I did not know that bees sting like that. Oh man. Sting like a butterfly, fly like a bee. Chat, I was playing today. France and Spain, right? France and Spain today. Who you guys got? France. You got Spain. I mean, you're half Spanish though. I'm going for France, yo. I'm 5% French, you know. Le français. Bonjour, je m'appelle Donvo. 5% French, so gotta support, gotta rep, you know, gotta rep. Jack Kui. Dude who predicted the whole tournament since Argentina versus Spain? Nah. I need Mbappe. Mbappe or Messi, yo. It's been a hot minute. Man, typical this year so far, because it's been a hot minute since I've been live since March. But yeah, understandable. But yeah, the best way to describe my strategy maybe is just like the same thing I did a couple of years ago when I was here, and it's just added on more. I wouldn't say anything different. We just expanded on what we already had. So same price action. Support and resistance is all I really have on my screen. I look at candles going up and down, and I don't look at patterns necessarily. I look at support and resistance. I use higher time frames, lower time frames to identify what part of the market cycle we're in, either a drive cycle, range cycle, or liquidity cycle. And then from there, after I define that on the higher time frame, I go to the small time frame and look for positions once we have ideas going on for the day. So yeah, like today's trade, for instance, we had one wick entry sell at 40.81 today. If you go back to the morning replay, you're gonna see I woke up today, I marked up my zones, and I said, hey guys, I got something here at 40.81. I'm gonna need this thing to come straight up though, no pullbacks. News came out, luckily, pushed price up 500 pips. I got my entry, and that was it. So yeah, I think today was a good stream though, in terms of like, you know, presenting the idea and then getting the idea and then executing on the idea. And yeah, I usually things are always planned, like, you know, when I first get up and do my analysis for the day. And that's about it. It's a very simple strategy. I don't think it's too, there's no like FEGs or fibs or like no indicators involved. It's just purely price action. So you don't even need to buy like TradingView Premium to use this strategy. You can just deadass go on your MT5 and draw lines on your screen, and boom, right there, man. No TradingView Premium for indicators, nothing like that. Pretty straightforward strategy though. That's the best way I can describe it. Chat, what do you guys think? Straightforward strategy? If it's not straightforward, then, you know, I guess we just need more time together, really. But I don't see why like this strategy can't be replicated by anybody else. Like anyone could really replicate it. What's your win rate? 87% win rate? What's my RR? I don't know. I don't really have one. It's like open. It's open concept. It's been open concept for 6 years. I don't know how to answer that question, bro. Like, I actually don't know. I get that question every day in my life, and I don't know. I risked 2,000 pips for that trade, or not 2,000 pips. I used a 4-hour stop loss on that trade, and I used like a 1-minute TP, and I scalp. You know what I mean? So I don't know what the risk to reward exactly is. Maybe I can go in reports, and they might show like a Sharpe ratio, so maybe 0.23. I don't know. I don't know. I also don't have enough info. Like, look right here. Look, I actually have a pause of our chat. Look at this. Look at this. Average profit, average loss. I have a 5-to-1 R. What can I say? Pause of our R. Here we come. I actually don't know though. Don't know, man. Like, average, I don't know. I know we take a lot of shorts. We've taken 73% shorts on this account, like 40 or 30% longs. Our most trade days are Fridays and Tuesdays. Third comes Wednesday, and then goes Monday and Tuesday. Are you usually taking trades on the 5 minute? Here. Look, here. These are my trades. So every trade I take, I mark up like the time frames I'm using, right? So in this case, I used today's trade, the minute, the 1, the 4. Yesterday's trade, I used, or the day before, whatever last trade I had, Thursdays, I used the, I used the minute and the 1. The trade before, I used the minute and the 1. The trade before, I used the minute, the 1, and the 4. So it's like, these are the time frames that I use. It just depends on the trade that day, what we got going on. You know, sometimes I might have like a daily idea, a daily concept. Some days I might have a 4-hour concept. Some days I might have a 1-hour concept. Today it was more so of a 4 and a 1 concept. It was just the fact that any move up, since you're still bearish in the higher time frame, can still be bearish. So then if you get a move up, I'm expecting wick entry sells. And then it just came to me selecting like the support and resistance zones. And I saw no top wicks here along these areas. So it was between here today for wick entry sells for me. And we didn't get the very best entry, but we got the entry that we wanted. And we got out in 0.20% profit today's trade. That's what it gave us. So yeah, it really depends. Like some days is the 5, you know, some days isn't the minute. I think the minute is commonly used and the 1 hour is commonly used. That's what that's what the journal says for a trade for me. But yeah, it's all time frames. Right here too, you can see our win rates for each time frame. It's all of them. It is all of them, man. You always want to use all time frames. All right, we're gonna move today, yo. Chaz, this is it, man. No way. No way this is gonna be it. Yeah, if you guys are enjoying the streams, man, hit the like button. Damn, we dropped 300 viewers after the trade taken. We're at 527. 528 on that trade. That trade was mad quiet though, chat. That chat was like frozen. Who's supporting, Spain or France? I got France, bro. I'm 5% French. Chat, you guys have ever done the ancestry.com stuff? I didn't know you had to send in like your sample there. I just thought it was just like you enter your information, you get the info. I didn't know you had to send like actual real life samples to get your results in that site. I haven't done it, but y'all ever done that? Still here about W, man. Hopes and dreams. 8 minutes to a 1 hour close. You have a leg candle on the 15. Seems like you mark off your key levels, wait for price to test, react to that level. Yeah, basically, like, I mean, I just explained it. Yeah, this is whatever I said earlier. I'm just looking at my playbook, and I'm looking for these type of ideas right here. So yeah, based off whatever price throws at me that day, a lot of this is higher time frame or lower time frames. Like right now, I know for a fact I don't have anything between here and here. So you know, like I don't have any thought in my head of like, oh, I'm gonna look for a position here, or like, because there's not enough information here for me. So I need that information before my brain unlocks the positions. Otherwise, I'm just like kind of chilling, waiting for price to kind of move, right? The next idea comes up here, so you know, when it does come near there, I'll be ready. But until then, anything between the blue zone is like a dead range for me. But before though, you know, like before we came up with the playbook V2, because the playbook V2 is what guides you. Before I had a guide, it was just constant like, what should I do here, buy or sell? Every 5-minute closure, what should I do here, buy or sell? Every 15 closure, what should I do here, buy or sell? Every 30-minute closure, what should I do here, buy or sell, right? And like, you're just exhaust yourself out for no reason, because like you're just like constantly hunting. The playbook helps you helps you like be more calm, because you're not constantly hunting for ideas. Like you know what you want, or you know what you need in order to get what position you want. Instead of just, I want this, let me attempt it. You know, you're missing a whole process. So if you do it like that, the most important part of trading is your process. Yeah, 0 French genetics. Moi je m'appelle donvo. Today looks similar to July 2nd price action. July 2nd. Yeah, kind of like in terms of this traffic, could be a mirror, yeah. I think the only difference is that this is more so coming down and this was like coming up. But aside from that, yeah, it's like this whole entire blue range is like mirrors, right? Like mirrors on the wall. But yeah, like yeah, mirrors here, etc. Mirrors here. But yeah, it could just be that. Honestly, are there certain market conditions you avoid? Yeah, like right here, range for sure. If a higher time frame range and a small time frame range, there's nothing checked off here, so I don't take anything. It's like dead range. But right now, higher time frame is drive down, driving down, and the small time frame is range. So like this is all just the range here. But yeah, if the higher time frame is ranging, then small time frame ranging, yeah, no trades. Music too loud? Sure. Better? Might be the playlist though, let me change it. Have Polish. Okay. Say something in Viet. Pineapples? Yeah. I explained it. I answered a question about pineapples earlier. Yeah, I still do, but not like we just. I think we improved on pineapples, so we haven't gotten any this year. But we still take them. Like I still have plans to take them. It's just that we've only gone like into certain amount of drawdown to a point where we had to take a pineapple once, but we didn't end up getting the pineapple. The position ended up playing out without it. So that's my rule of thumb. Like if the first entry is still valid to come down, there's no need to add a pineapple. Not from like a hopes and dreams standpoint though, right? You don't want to get that mixed up. Like, yeah, of course they can come down, you know? Like, no, like be realistic with yourself. Like, look at price, look at where it is, look at what it broke, look at what it needs to break. Can it still come down to your entry? And then usually if the answer is yes, then yeah, there's no need for pineapples. But if the answer is no, like let's say we took an entry here today at 80 and this thing starts coming up like this, you know, it starts like shifting up like this. Can it still come down? Yeah, because if this comes up, no pullback, that's fine. But if it pulls back now and it starts doing this, can it still come down now? No. And if our stops are like way above still, let's say we get wick entry sells here, can we enter a trade there? Yeah, right? And then your idea is that you want to come down towards like the halfway point. So let's say it's around here. So then here you're break even off of this position and this position, and then you get out. But that's usually the case for pineapple. It's not like, you know, hopes and dreams, this shit gotta go down, let me stack. We don't do that no more. But yeah, I think it's only been like 3 years or 2 years since we introduced pineapples. Chat, trading is a process, bro. Everything's a process, you know? Like sometimes, it is gonna take 2 years for me to think about swing before I swing, or like for me to have a play before I start taking the play. It might take like 8 months to figure out, a year, like that. Should I sell now? And you know what I need to get? I need to get a magic 8 ball for you. I don't know. Should you sell now? What is your analysis? You know? I don't see anything in this blue range, bro. I don't have anything in this blue range. Like literally not a single thought in my head is like a sell or buy or what should I do here. But I can't give you that answer. But you could have ideas. Like if you got something cooking, like you got a playbook of your own and something looks valid, my advice is to not hesitate on the positions, because the worst thing you can do to yourself in trading is hesitate. 1, you're not going to collect the right data, and 2, you're hesitating. That's like worse than like taking a trade and taking a loss, to be honest. So yeah, like, I don't know how you trade exactly, right? But there could be valid trades if you have something in this range. I myself don't though. I don't got much going on. So literally like there's nothing. I don't know where it's going to go from here. I don't know if from here it's going to go up or down. I don't know. If you don't know, then look at me. I'm saying I don't know. Am I hunting? No. If you don't know, should you hunt? Probably not. You know what I mean? So that's why I got this huge blue range. And sometimes, yes, it's going to be like 1,000 pips before I start looking for positions. But that's trading. Y'all get used to that sometimes, right? Sometimes when you don't know what's going on, there might not be positions then. You need to wait for more information until you know, right? And that's candles moving and up and down, left, right, center, wherever it goes, that it prints more information for you to extract. And then you can come to a conclusion that you have confirmations. But if you don't know, it's okay. You just don't know. I don't know right now either. It's okay to not know. I don't know, and I'm not gonna do anything. But it's an issue when you don't know and you try to do something. You try to prove yourself right. That's when you fuck up. You don't want to do that. You don't want to, like, you know, just get in just because. What did you say, Penzo? You know how I know it's AI, bro? There's a dash right there. That last line got a dash right there. That's how I know you use AI for that. But it's okay to not know, chat. Like I think a lot of times a lot of traders just try and know. It's like an ego thing. Like, oh, I know where it's gonna go. Like, okay, yeah, you know where it's gonna go. Then take your positions. But like, you don't always gotta know where it's gonna go. Sometimes it's just you're waiting for information. Hasn't V2 been out for a while? Yeah, I think it's been out for, when did I drop V2? November? November last year. So 7, 8, 9 months. V2.1 is coming out. Maybe for the year ends. Maybe Christmas. I tend to drop things during Christmas for some reason. I don't know why. Maybe Christmas. Or maybe before. But this is Playbook V2.1. Like this. Oh my god. Christmas gift for every year. Yep. I start the year off by saying, chat, I'm gonna drop something, and then I don't drop it till Christmas. It's just, I don't know, man. Different seasons of the year. I just be more locked in. Oh shit, chat, you might get volume here. Re-breaking on lows again. Hers by night, me too though. We need to think like a fisherman, let the price come to our bait. Yeah, deadass. That's how it is though. It's like fishing, you know? Like you don't, when you go fishing, I don't go fishing that much, but I'm assuming that you go fishing, like you pick a spot that like has like a high rate of getting fishes. And then you just fucking launch that shit in, right? And you just wait. And like you're not over here like launching that shit and controlling where the rods and shit or the bait's gonna go, like a remote control. Like you're not doing that, you know? If you do that, you're gonna scare the fish away. So you just fucking like launch it in there and you sit there. And then every now and then you might get a bite. And then boom, you pull, you enter. Sure what it is though. It's not like you can throw it in there and then like control, you know, where the bait's gonna go. You start hunting for the actual fish. Now you let the fish come to you. As generic as that sounds, that's what it is though. All right, 10 a.m. guys. I don't know. Let's see. I'll give it. I don't think we'll be here all the way till 11 if it doesn't move. Maybe 10:30. But the closest thing, like I think we're in between the ranges. Like next idea is up here for 700 pips up, and then next idea is down here for 300 pips down. So a little closer to the downside, but you still gotta move down and create structure and all of that. So we'll see. We'll see if that picks up. Alive? Fed testifies. Yeah, I think right now at 10, right? Fed Chairman Walsh testifies. I honestly don't know if that's his speech or I don't know what that is. We still got 127,000 traders online right now, so still a lot. Well, someone said peak earlier was like 300 or 250k. That's a bit. That is quite a bit. We might call it earlier, Chav. It just ends or ranging maybe 11. Let's see, 10, 20. Slow start the month though. Gap fill? Oh, it hasn't happened yet, right? Maybe. I don't know. There's a wick fill here, but then again, like it closed holding these ranges. I don't know. There's something here along these areas though. Like this is a nice candle, bullish one, but holding the ranges, right? So it may not mean the craziest, because it can still fill the wick and end up flipping bearish. I think it is the most volatile NY session we've seen this month, right? July 1st, 900 pips, 700. This is the most we've seen since like maybe July 1st, beginning of July, off of these pushes. So, and then again, like this can also still be look at it from this perspective, these can still be higher lows. Like, you know, technically you're not breaking these lows yet. It could be a higher low, but then again, we'll find out anyways. There's news soon. There's 10 a.m. Fed Chair Powell, or Fed Chair Walsh speaks or testifies at 10. That came out 14 minutes ago. The next thing you got is orange folders or yellow folders. Who knows? Maybe this will be it. It moved like decent for the NY session. 700 pips, right? And it's been ranging since. Maybe this will be it. See, breaking out lows here, some decent volume. And you drop down another 320. And chat, be a bit cautious of like, if you're like, if we are playing sells or we want them below 2040. So like the first drop, let's say it pushes through 40, it doesn't pull back it, you want to wait for that pullback, because this can still be a higher low. Right, so it's very key, wait for that pullback. And then once you get that pullback, as you continue back below, you create more structure, and then eventually you can get your sell ideas coming down. That's gonna be, again, quite a bit. Honestly, I might just call it, chat. I might just call it then, or right here. Because even if you do come down, it's gonna require quite a bit, unless we want to be here past 11, which is not bad. But I think I'm gonna call it. I think if anything, I'll call it in the DVSO1 channel for the New York session. And yeah, Asian, I'll see you guys in there. Anyways, with this volume, right? But yeah, chat. I think that's it for an NY session. I think I'm just gonna hop off. But yeah, W day today, 0.20%, 19.3 pips. Wick entry sells after news came out. I think it was a W session overall. Called out the play that we're gonna take today before news came out. News came out, got the position, and that was that. All right, chat. So tomorrow you got core PPI tomorrow, and then I think that is all for the week. That's red. Thursday you got some orange folders, and Friday you got a bunch of yellow and orange, but again, nothing as major, right? So maybe CPI sets you up for the weekend. The rest of the week could be chill, could be volatile. But yeah, chat, have a good day, everybody. I'll see you guys tomorrow. DVSO1, I think I might still be trading NY, so I'll see you guys in the chat for this NY session. But if I do a trade, I'll let you guys know in the channel. Okay. All right. Peace, everybody. Laters.